where did we finish at? So we are back with another Uber video. Today, I'm gonna be doing Uber from a different time. It is 4:30 p.m. and I'm out of work, and we're just gonna see how much I make. It is on a Friday too. It's on a Friday. I'm at Costco right now getting gas. I actually probably don't need to get gas, but I'm gonna get it anyway. It's supposed to rain, and so I might have to use AC, which of course uses a little bit more gas. So I'm gonna just make sure that I fuel my tank up at Costco real quick before I start. But man, this line is long. I've been waiting for a minute. For y'all that have Costco memberships, I mean, y'all know, but like, bro, it's just so many cars. I mean, everyone's lined up. I'm telling y'all, I swear that gas is going through cars quicker, man. I don't know what it is. When I went to Michigan, I filled up and that gas lasted in my tank for so long. But being back in Chicago, I'm seeing, and it was Costco too in Michigan, but I'm seeing that like something is going on with gas, man, because gas should not be running through cars this quick. It really shouldn't. Like, I feel like every time I turn my car on, I'm losing like 5 gallons of expected mileage. Every time I turn on my car, it's crazy. It's crazy. I thought something was wrong with my car a while back, so I went to go get that checked. They were like, no, everything's fine with your car. So yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, man, I'm just gonna vlog my day. I'm gonna vlog the rest of the day doing Uber on a Friday night in Chicago, and just how that goes. It's been a while since I've done it on a Friday. I usually do Saturday. So this is gonna be quite interesting for me. It's been a while. I think last time I did Friday, it was like nearing an overnight. I think it was nearing an overnight just because I wanted to see if I can make more money with people who are going out and stuff like that. So I'm gonna stop yapping y'all head off, and we just gonna get into the video. It is currently 4:40 in the PM, and so I'm planning on doing I want to do 8 hours, but that's stopping at like midnight, a little after midnight. I don't know if I'm honestly gonna go that long, but we'll see. Fridays are usually good. It's supposed to rain today. I think it's supposed to thunderstorm. Usually when the weather is bad, it is a great day to drive because people still need to get around. Usually a lot of drivers aren't driving, and so there's a surcharge sometimes. Not every time, but sometimes. But usually the rides are really good the worse the weather is. So there's supposed to be some light rain today, possibility of thunderstorms. I thought it would be a great day to try this out. I reside in Chicago, so this is going to be a Uber video in the 3rd largest city in the country. So take that as you will. The earnings from this is probably gonna be higher than someone in a smaller market, so just keep that in mind. I'm only showing what is in my market. So it's 4:40, just shy of 5 p.m. I'm gonna start, probably gonna do 8 hours. Maybe I'll try. I'm thinking it'll realistically be more around like 6 to 8 hours. I do try to get to $200 as my baseline. So if I do get to $200 before then, I will share that. I tried not to go too far over $200 because I feel that the wear and tear on your vehicle and just the time that you spend, I feel like it's better not to get greedy. Create a goal for yourself. Make sure you hit that goal and just stop. Just stop. Don't get greedy. Just stop. Of course, if you're in a pinch and you really need it, keep going, but just try to take care of yourself. Try not to overexert yourself. Sitting for long periods of time is not good for your body, so just be conscious of that. The money in doing this can be great. I just don't think it's worth chasing and sacrificing your health for it though. So keep that in mind as you watch these videos as I release them. I appreciate y'all for coming back. If you watch the previous video that I did and you're back here for that, I'm currently at 3 subscribers. I know that's not a lot by any means, but I think that it's pretty exciting for me because I started this channel without friends or family knowing or following or anything like that to engage. And so I feel like organically grabbing 3 people to sub is just awesome. So to you 3, thank you. But yeah, this is gonna be a long-lasting thing. So I appreciate it. I don't want to yap y'all head off too much. So let's just get into the video. So it's saying that it is kind of busy. Wait time is not that long, looking for 1 to 4 minutes. So we are going to, so just to show you today, I'm at 0 trips completed. And yeah, man, we're gonna go online. We're gonna see how this goes. I really thought today was gonna be pretty good too, so definitely not shocked to see that. And here we go, 5 minutes to pick up, 12 minutes to destination. Of course we're gonna do that. We're gonna hit navigation here. It's gonna pop up on maps. We have it here, our turn-by-turn navigation, and we're gonna get started. So here we go, man. Like I said, I want to do 8 hours. I just don't know if I'm we'll see. Because I really don't know, man. Friday nights, sometimes, you know, with drunk people, I try not to do these nights just because of drunk people. So I've been fortunate enough not to have anyone throw up in my car or, you know, get drunk and get like upset or argue or anything like that. I've been pretty lucky. So hopefully I didn't just jinx myself. But we're gonna vlog this. I think this is a pretty good ride to start out with. A really good hack to make good money doing Uber. Don't accept every ride. Don't accept every ride. If you accept every ride, you're accepting some rides where the hourly just doesn't make sense. Don't do that to yourself. Only accept rides that are closer to you. You know your city. You should know your city pretty well. So if the pickup is short from where you currently are, it's not gonna take you that long to pick the person up, and you know how traffic is in your city around the time that you're driving, and to drop them off where it says to drop them off, it won't take you that long. And the ride is like, for instance, this ride, 10 bucks, absolutely take it. You know, it was like $9 and something. Absolutely take it. I'm picking this person up. It's gonna probably take me less than 12 minutes to drop them off, and I get paid a little over $9 to do that. Things like that is what stacks up and helps your hourly get over $30 an hour. The goal is that every time you drive, try, if you can, like I said, every market is not like this, but just speaking for the Chicago market, you want to try to do quick math in knowing your city, so you only accept rides that have a high hourly rate. Sometimes you're not going to be able to do that, so you're just going to have to bite the bullet and take a smaller ride. But if you do this, please be smart with how you are accepting rides. A lot of times, if enough drivers decline a ride and it comes back to you, in my scenarios, in my case, that ride has always come $1 more to $2 more than it was originally when I first saw it. Just a little, you know, a little advice. If you're planning on doing this, be smart with how you do it. Don't exhaust yourself. Don't wreck your car trying to make money doing this and breaking your back in the process. Try to be smart. Take it slow. Learn. Try to do drop-offs that drop you off in a busy area. Try not to take rides that drop you off in slow areas. And if you do take a ride that drops you off in a slow area and you don't get paired with someone before you drop that person off, then try to drive a little bit away from that area, or only accept a ride, from a slow place if it's going back to a busy one. Be smart when you do this. Be smart when you do this. I see a lot of drivers who claim that you can't make money doing this, and then they share their analytics for the day, and they've been accepting rides where their hourly was like, you know, like in some cases their hourly was like 12 bucks, 10 bucks. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. So, yeah, I didn't want to yap too much, but I just wanted to share that. So take that as you will. Just wanted to check in with y'all because it is now an hour since I started, and I'm currently at $39.26 for the day. So we're just shy of $40 for 1 hour. And that's just following the same method that I told y'all. Again, it's a big market. So I do want to keep saying that Chicago is a big market. This 3926, I think it's across 4 trips, I think. There's a little bit of traffic today because rush hour in Chicago is roughly like anywhere from like 3 p.m. all the way to like 7 p.m. So there was a lot of traffic, which caused my hourly to actually drop a little bit. It would have been better today, but traffic. So 3926, just to show you, let me zoom in here a little bit. So yeah, 3926, there you go right there. Yeah, I think today is going to be a pretty good day. I definitely, like I said, I don't want to get greedy. I just want to at least see if I can get to my goal. I don't want to stay out late tonight. That I know for sure. I don't want to stay out really late tonight. So I'm about to pick somebody else up. It's a scheduled ride. The way that scheduled rides work, for anyone that's curious on that, you schedule a ride ahead of time so that you don't have to worry about grabbing an Uber. All you have to do is be ready by your expected pickup window. For the driver though, I get the ride and it'll actually say, see pickup info. It'll tell me it's a reserved ride. So I accepted it knowing that it's reserved. It says that, here, I'll show you here. It's gonna focus. It says that it's a 6:10 p.m. pickup. It's currently 5:56 and I'm on my way there. It says it's gonna take like 8 minutes, so I'll get there at 6:04. So this is all the information that it says for the person, or for me, I'm sorry, for me, for picking up the person. And then if the person is late for their reservation, then what ends up happening is I actually get paid more and you get charged more as the person that made the reservation for every minute that you leave your driver waiting. I get paid for every minute over that I wait. So I sometimes love reserved rides because sometimes people are late. They forget that it's reserved, you know, they weren't ready, especially in the early morning when it's an airport ride. Oh my goodness. Reserved rides, you make really good money with reserved rides when it's an airport thing. So just another tip, if it's a busy day and you come across a reserved rides are always going to cost more for you as the customer. When you do a reserved ride ahead of time, Uber does charge you more, in my experience, more than what it would have cost you if you just would have ordered the ride when you were ready in real time and waited. But I don't know, y'all let me know if that's been y'all experience with them. That's definitely been my experience with it. So I like reserved because you get paid more as a driver, and plus there's more charges for the wait time. So I love it. This ride, if I didn't tell you already, this ride is a little over $17. It's really not that far to drop this person off. I think the ETA for dropping them off is gonna be like 12 minutes, 12, 13 minutes, I think is what it says. So yeah, I mean, today's gonna be a good money day. I think it's gonna be a pretty good money day. So I'll check in with y'all later, but I just want to tap in with you and talk about reserve rides because I ended up getting one and just show y'all what that looks like. So like I said, yeah, I'll tap in with y'all a little bit later. So I found out why it's kind of busy today, because Usher and Chris Brown are in Chicago and they're playing at Soldier Field. So traffic on the highway getting into the city is insane. I just dropped somebody off over by Soldier Field. The rides are coming through like crazy over there because people are trying to get to the concert, but it's not even worth it. It's like a parking lot. That's the other thing too, is like something that I didn't do today is to check what's going on in the city so that I know the areas to kind of stay away from. You want to be close to an area when like the event is ending, because then there's going to be a surplus of people trying to leave in a concentrated place, and usually you're going to get a good surcharge in that time. I like right now I got a ride that just came through, $17, but it's going back to Soldier Field. I could take that, but it's saying the drop off is going to be 30 minutes. I mean, that hourly is still over $30, but I mean, I got to get out, and it's gonna take time to get out of that. So it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. You know, you're looking at $32 an hour doing that drop off, but you know, you're gonna spend extra time getting out of that area just so you can get to, you know, your next pickup, or so you can get to a next ride that you favor. It's just things to keep in mind. Like, you definitely want to check what's going on in your city. You definitely want to just be more aware of areas in your city that are going to be like super busy, and you just kind of want to stay a little clear of those areas so you can keep your flow going. The biggest thing with this is you want to keep a flow going. You don't want to be in situations like I'm in right now with this traffic. This is what you don't want. You don't want to be caught in traffic. I'm going to a pickup right now that's 5 minutes away, so luckily it's gonna have me get off the highway here. But this is just a good example of like, what you don't want to do. You don't want to be in situations like this. And I just went out today to do this video just to see how it would be. I didn't do any type of Googling to see what was happening. If I did, I would not have taken that ride to end up by Soldier Field. But we live and we learn, now we know. So we're probably gonna try to stay in the downtown Chicago area, but we're gonna really try not to go south until the concert actually starts and everybody gets there and it slows down. And then we're gonna try to stay downtown when it gets out, so we can catch like the traffic going to bars and clubs and things like that. Short trips that are high value. That's the next thing that you kind of wanna look for. So that's how we're gonna strategize the rest of our day. Currently 7 o'clock. I think what am I at? I'm at $76 so far. I started like roughly like $4.50, I think is when I started. So close to 5, 6, so we're like a little over 2 hours in. Yeah, a little over 2 hours in, and we're at $76.19. So we're doing pretty good. We're over, you know, $35 an hour with this, so we're doing pretty good for the day. Just gonna try to keep this up. It looks like I probably am going to be going a little bit into the night, but we'll see. But right now it looks like I'm gonna go a little bit into the night, and probably, you know, in order to get to that 200 goal, but we'll see. You know, sometimes people tip really good. Tips always help your drive time come down because you're able to meet your goal a lot quicker. I typically don't talk in rides unless people want to talk, but I'm not one to do too much communicating with people. When they get in the car, I try not to be a chatty patty, just because not everybody likes to talk. So that's something I try to do. I think I actually get more tips when I don't talk, so that's just something that I personally try to do. I don't play music when I drive either. I think I said that in the last video. Sometimes a lot of people don't necessarily like your taste in music or what you listen to, and I try not to get into the habit of playing music and then people start requesting things, and then you gotta fumble around with your phone and put in their requests. So I just keep it quiet in the car and just kind of let people like listen to their own music, scroll on their phone, or, you know, if they're in the car with someone else, they can kind of have a conversation without some music playing. Just wanted to do another check-in with y'all and talk about that, because events in the city are, it's a crazy time to drive when events are going on in the city. So like, this traffic is crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna try not to chat y'all head off too much in between these rides when I do check-ins, but I just wanted to say that bit. So until next check-in. The traffic was terrible. And I didn't think it was worth staying out. So I think I got to like 105 today. I'll go over it in the morning, but I'm not gonna keep driving tonight because the traffic's too bad. So I ended up getting Portillo's. If you've ever had it, it's decent. I won't say it's like crazy. If you ever come to Chicago, the touristy things is like Portillo's and Lou Malnati's, like deep dish or whatever, but Portillo's is all right. I mean, I feel like it's like for people in California or places that have In-N-Out, like you're not gonna really go crazy for that. It's more of like an out-of-town thing. But I'll go over all the numbers tomorrow morning. I'm home, so I'm just gonna chill out, eat this, sleep. I am gonna drive tomorrow, so we'll do a video for Saturday, but unfortunately for Friday night, the traffic's just too bad and the hourly is just gonna continuously go down with all the traffic. it's very active tonight, but the traffic is just gonna tank the hourly, and I'm not really in the mood for that. So we'll recap tomorrow. I'm gonna drive during the day tomorrow, and yeah, we'll go from there. So I'll see y'all in the morning. All right, so let's talk about it. So yesterday, just open up the app here. So yesterday we did 3 hours, 22 minutes online. In that time, we did 8 trips. Let me see. Net fare was $99.40. Promotions were $4.09. And the promotions is just because I have a pro perk on my account. Tips, I got $3.50 for a grand total of $106.99 for 3 hours and 22 minutes. If you break that down, you got $106.99 divided by 3.2. So I was at $33.43 per hour yesterday, which is pretty good. 3 hours of work, $33. It's pretty good, almost 33 and a half. And that's just staying consistent with the strategy of trying to only take rides where the hourly makes sense. I try to only take rides where the hourly is over $30. And that's just because gas is expensive. You don't want to waste your time. You really don't want to waste your time. The other thing too is that there was the Usher and Chris Brown concert, which also is going to be tonight, I believe, as well. I believe it's going to be tonight as well. So gonna try to get ahead of that today before traffic gets too busy, because yesterday I wasn't able to do the 3 hours because the traffic was so bad. So today, gonna get ahead of that and hopefully be able to get a little bit more before the concert actually starts so that I don't blow away the rest of the day. So if you want to look at a breakdown of how Uber takes everything, here it is. It's kind of hard to see this, but this is like the fare breakdown that it sends you, and it basically just shows you how much money is being taken, how much money you get versus how much money they're actually taking for fares, and the taxes and fees as well that are going to be specific to your city. So I'm gonna get out today, gonna do a little bit more, try to see what today does. I'm getting a late start. It's currently 2:20, so I want to get out, like I said, before the concert starts and just try to get a lot of the traffic before then. A lot of people are probably already out and about, either doing errands or doing, I think right now is going to be the end of brunch time. Now is going to be a really good time to actually drive and get out and get to see what the day's going to be like. So I'm going to do that, and of course going to take you all with me and be transparent about what we're doing today, or how much we're doing today. So let's get into that video. First ride from leaving, and we got a $12 and I think it was 30-cent ride. The drop-off set is gonna be about 15 minutes ish. So I felt like that was a pretty good ride. The traffic looked pretty low today, so I'm anticipating pretty quick drop-offs until the concert a little later tonight. So I figured that $12.30, for a ride that's probably gonna take 15 minutes. The way that I do the math is I'm like, okay, if that's my $15 rate at 15 minutes, you multiply that, you're at 24, you're at half an hour. Obviously it's 2 30 minutes in 1 hour. So you just multiply that, and that's $48 that you have for 1 hour if you were consistently doing $12 rides every 15 minutes. So that's how I don't know, that might not be the quickest way to do the math, but that's just the way that I do the math really quick in my head, just to better understand if the rate that I get makes sense with the hourly that I want. And I want my hourly to be over $30 when I'm done driving. I try not to tank my hourly by just trying to stay out and go for an end number. If you just go for your end number, which is your target for the day, without properly calculating your rides, you're just causing more stress on yourself, on your car. And in my opinion, it's kind of wasted time, especially if you are trying to, if you're a person that has a family, a significant other, or just other obligations. You don't want to tie your day up doing this for a terrible hourly. So just stop, you know, just if you can, just stop and go back out during a busier time. That's the best advice I can give. Don't keep going, just stop. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this person up. We're gonna get started with this $12.30 ride. I think that's what it was. And we're gonna see where today ends up. I think today's gonna be a great day. It's showing that it's like high 70s. Right now it says it's 77. I think it's supposed to peak up to like 82. And it's you know, it's a beautiful day in Chicago. So every time it's a day like today, it's a busy day. People are out and moving around. I'll do what I do in these videos, which is check in with y'all a little bit later, break down where I'm at so far with time, kind of show y'all what the breakdown's looking like, and then we'll go into the end of the video, and then we'll do a recap at the end. So I'll just talk to y'all then. So we are 2 hours in, actually a little under 2 hours. It's like an hour and 40 minutes, and we're at $63 so far. So today's a pretty good day. What's been really piling up my day has been short trips that are at a higher ticket. That's been something that has been like, that's really where you want to be honest with you. It's annoying to see it, like little $6 rides and stuff, but when there's $6 rides for like a 5-minute drive, 9-minute drive, like what are we doing? You know what I mean? You got to take that. So that's been really contributing to today. It's pretty busy. Luckily, people are not trying to go across city in every ride, which has been amazing. That's how you get these short trips. Right now, I'm about to take a ride to the airport. I'm doing this for y'all, man. I'm doing this for y'all because on a day like today, I usually would not take a ride to the airport, because in Chicago, going from downtown Chicago to O'Hare Airport, which is the more popular airport to fly in and out of in Chicago, it's going to take you roughly on a day where you're getting lucky with traffic, it might be like 30 minutes. Maybe even less. I've seen it even less when I've been driving to get to O'Hare. Today is going to be 45 minutes. 45 minutes to O'Hare. So rule of thumb is, if you have an airport ride, please make sure you do your math for your hourly going to the airport, because you're going to be in traffic, and there is no point to being in traffic if you are not making money to do so. So this ride came in at $30 and like 8 cents, and I want to be over $30. So I'm only doing this for y'all, to be honest, because like I said, if this was a day where I'm doing this and not filming, I'm not taking this ride. I'm just taking the short rides, and I'm stacking up my money from there. So I'm gonna take this ride. I'm gonna show y'all what it looks like on the Uber side once you get to the airport, how that all works. I'll explain that once I get there. Hopefully, as I'm dropping this person off at the airport, I don't get a good ride to take me back, because I honestly might, if it's a good ride, I'll accept that ride and come back and then explain how it works when I get back into the city. But assuming I don't, which I hope I don't, so I can actually explain this to y'all and show y'all like everything, the waiting area, everything, then I will. I kind of want to get back to the city though, because as quickly as I can, because it's just a lot going on and it's a lot of short trips, and I really feel like today could be a good money day where I end early. So that's what I'm trying to prioritize. Who knows? I'll sacrifice it. I'll sacrifice it if I have to, just to show y'all what it looks like. But airport rides, like going to the airport, it's gonna be a normal Uber ride, meaning that I am only getting, you know, the same cut as I would for any other ride. Now, the ride back from the airport, when I'm in the Uber waiting area waiting to pair with a customer who's at the airport waiting to get picked up, now that rate is higher. That rate is higher. So airport rides can be a great thing if it can work in your day. Think about it strategically. If it's kind of slow and you get an airport ride, go to the airport. Don't take a ride from the airport though. If you live in the suburbs, you know, do what you gotta do. I don't live in the suburbs, I live in Chicago, so I wanna take a ride that leads me back into the city, because I'm always operating around home. So be strategic with how you accept rides always, no matter where you're at. The only time I will take a ride to the suburbs is like if I want to end early, or if it's like nearing the end of my Uber shift that I'm doing that day and the ride comes through. I've seen rides come through for the suburbs from O'Hare. For me to take someone to one of the suburbs, it's come through at $60, $70, $80. I mean, if you think about it, the goal is $200 a day. when I drive. So if I get a ride that comes through and it's $60 to take someone somewhere, and usually those suburbs are an hour away, you have to factor in your ride back, which is usually for me, depending on what suburb it is, I might just go back to the airport and then try to get a ride that's coming straight downtown Chicago. So I kind of double dip on the airport. I'm only going to the suburbs if the hourly makes sense. And then if it's one of the suburbs that's north of O'Hare or northwest of O'Hare, and I can just come back to O'Hare, I'm gonna do that, because then I'll only take a ride that gets me back into the city. And then I'm doing this all over again. You gotta compound those things, and you gotta just do it strategically. Like I said in my other video, and I think I said it earlier in this video on the part 1 yesterday, there's a lot of drivers who claim that you can't make money doing this. You absolutely can make money doing this, and you can make good money doing this. You just have to be smart with what you're doing. That's really gonna be the theme of everything I say in this. Is just be smart, do quick math, only take rides that make sense for your hourly, and be strategic with how you're taking your rides and how you're coming back from rides. So yeah, I'm gonna stop blabbing, talking y'all's head off. I'm gonna go pick this person up, head to the airport, and then once we get to the airport, I'll just explain how everything works when we get there. I just dropped that lady off at the airport. It says it's a pretty short wait. It's estimating that there's 2,920 passengers within the next hour that will be, oh, now it just bumped up to 3,698 passengers in the next hour that will be needing rides. So the demand is pretty high. Yeah, the demand is pretty high right now. Yeah, the thing with airport rides, there's no way for me to pause this either. This is just gonna keep pinging. Thing about airport rides is, one, it took me like an hour to get here for that ride. It really only makes sense when there's not really traffic, or when it's a higher priced ride for the airport. I mean, like I said, I accepted this just so I can kind of just show on the app side how this actually looks, because it's actively pinging right now. So I'm gonna show y'all all this here shortly. But the thing with airport rides is that they can really help out your hourly, or they can ruin it. I mean, in this case, it's gonna ruin my hourly, because I'm gonna wait here for rides to possibly get more expensive before I go back, because the estimated time to get back into Chicago is a little over an hour from O'Hare. So now not only do I need to keep in mind the hourly rate that I want, but it needs to be more than my hourly rate, because it's gonna take more than an hour to get back to the city. So that means I have to be far more selective with my rides. And there's other cars here, there's a bunch of other cars here of people who are either trying to relax or take a break, or people who are trying to get right back into it as well. So you're competing with everybody. When you're not at the airport, Uber will pair you with someone directly. Like that offer will be sent to you. If you decline, it gets sent to the next one. But when you're at the airport, it's a free for all. Uber will throw up a ride that's offered, and it'll throw it up for you and X amount of other drivers who are also in the same lot as you. So you're kind of like competing for that ride. You don't want to get too selective and kind of take yourself out of the competition, or take yourself out of the queue, because you're declining so many rides that you're not actually getting the ones that you want. So the airport is a little bit of a different beast when you get here, and there's a little bit of a different game to be played. So I'll just show you guys this as it comes through, just so you can see what I'm saying. But turn this in. We'll do this. There's a lot of sun on this side, so I apologize. But so it's telling me that I'm gonna go back into the queue because I am declining rides right now. You can see I'm at $93. So it's pinging this 29 bucks for 51 minutes. No, we're not gonna do that. We want this to get over, we wanna take something that's over $30. Remember that. We wanna take rides that are over $30. Sometimes you'll get these short trips of people going, so, and this could also just be that they're sending in lower offer rides to see if drivers are gonna take it. That's the other thing too. It's a different game that they play here. I believe Uber wants to take more of the pot, so they're going to offer the rides at a lower price point to see if you're gonna bite and actually take it. If you don't, what you'll see is the ride actually will continue to get more expensive. It'll get more expensive. For sure. It'll get more expensive the more drivers that decline these rides, and it'll keep, I've seen this happen before waiting at the airport. It'll keep pinging drivers until someone accepts it. If no one accepts it, then it goes up higher until someone does accept it. And so I've noticed that here, that if it's like a slower day or if it's busier in the city, a lot of times people will keep declining the same ride just so they can get a bigger ticket ride back into the city. Since this is technically still airport like area, I don't know if I'll be able to fly the drone up to kind of show y'all what this all looks like. Actually, let me see. I have an app for this that kind of tells me. So let's see. Yeah, so this is an absolute no for a fly zone, of course. I mean, it's the airport, so duh. But it's basically just one big parking lot. It's one big parking lot where all the cars stay. There's usually a couple food trucks here. There's a ton of porta potties for you to use the restroom. Pretty nice. It's a pretty nice waiting area, to be honest with you. But man, these rides are pinging, and I am not going to be taking any of these right now. Like I said, if I wasn't filming, I wouldn't have taken this ride to the airport for this reason, because I need to stay online to get the rides. Also, I need to be very selective with the rides that I'm choosing. And so my online time is gonna go up, and it's gonna start dropping my hourly rate that I'm making because I'm waiting here to get a ride to go back. I might just bite the bullet and take something that's under 30 an hour, just so I can get back into the city. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to do that, but if it keeps doing this, I might just. This is a ride that came through $125 for a 2-hour drive to Lafayette. What? Can y'all see this? What? Indiana. That's crazy. Who is gonna take that? $125 for 2 hours, but you gotta come back. Let me do quick math. Is that worth it? Because that's like $62.50. That's like $62.50 per hour. But then you got 2 hours coming back, so it's actually 31. So it's $31. That's still over the hourly, but that's 4 total hours of work. That's like barely over 2. Plus gas. Dang, that ride actually would put you down. And I don't see it coming back around, so I'm pretty sure somebody took that. Dang, I don't know if I would have taken that one. Get back around like 9 p.m. You're definitely that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. If you chase your daily number, then you'll accept that ride. Your hourly rate it sucks. You're gonna probably have to get gas. I mean, if I had a car that was more fuel efficient, that'll probably make sense. But no, we're not gonna do that. But yeah, these are some of the food trucks I was talking about here. So you got a food truck here, you got a food truck there, and it's just one big parking lot. It's just one big parking lot. Everyone's just chilling. But hopefully for those of you that are thinking about driving, you find these videos useful. I'm trying to be as transparent and just pack in as much information as possible, just so you can kind of get a gist of just kind of like wrapping your head around like what a day kind of looks like and the thought process that goes behind it, so you can kind of then like change it for what works for you. But this is what's been working for me. And when I was unemployed and I was using this as my primary source of income, this is what really helped me to be able to actually make money and support myself. I wasn't always able to get the hourly that I wanted, for sure. And there were times where I had to just accept lower ticketed rides and just get what I can. There were definitely days like that, but for the most part, this is how I was able to skate by for so long, just following this method. So I'm gonna let y'all know when I do pair. I'll let you know how much. Dang, it's really bright outside today. I'll let you know how much that comes through at, and I'm only taking a ride that takes me back into the city. If it goes out to the burbs, it has to be where it's not too far from the airport to actually come back to the airport and then head back into the city. I'll check in with y'all once I pair with a pretty good ride though. I just accepted a ride. That's $27. It's going to McCormick Place from O'Hare. McCormick Place is on the, it's just south of downtown. It's the convention center. Usually someone's getting dropped off, especially on a Saturday. It's in preparation for probably a convention that's going to be on Monday. So they usually get dropped off at one of the hotels on that side. The only downside of this is that Soldier Field is just north of McCormick Place. So with the concert going on tonight, it's very early. So it's not that I'm worried about the traffic around Soldier Field. What I'm worried about is how many people are gonna be in that area, and if traffic is also gonna be bad on that side of the city. Because when I was leaving the city, I noticed that traffic going in was far worse than the traffic coming out. This is just literally how I think out loud and try to strategize what I'm gonna actually do when I get there. If it's worth it for me to stay in that area and do short trips, or if it's worth it for me to cut the app off and just get a little bit further away and start driving again. The only benefit to shutting the app off and driving away is that if you are a person that is in a different tier, I'm in gold tier because I don't drive that much to acquire the points to go up to the other different tiers for drivers. With those perks, it doesn't equate to more money, but like honestly, the perk benefits to going up is not worth it. It's not worth it because who are you bragging to? Like, I don't think there's many people that really drive for Uber who are like thrilled about this. So because they don't really make it where drivers can, you know, wake up and be happy to do this because there's so much money to be made. There's no incentive for people who drive all the time to keep doing it, to be honest with you. So there's like no point in trying to grind for the different tiers because they're just not financially worth it. But yeah, this is just how I think out loud. I'm just thinking out loud here, and this is typically how I think when it's days like today where the money can be made. But in this particular scenario, I didn't make the wise choice by coming to the airport, but like I said, I did it for the video. So I'm just trying to think out loud here how I can recoup, how I can just recoup, hit my goal in the shortest amount of time, which at this point, I think I might have to start taking longer rides to, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see once I get back in the city what the surcharge is, or if there is one at all, and what the rides are looking like, because we're a little further in the day. It's almost 6 p.m., so we'll see how that works out. That guy was so nice, y'all. And he gave me a $13 tip as well, so that was a really good ride. They came out to, what, 40 bucks. They came out to $40. Look at that. So I'm happy about that. Like, sometimes you get lucky like that. Sometimes you get lucky like that. It all works out. It does, however, look like the concert is about to start because now it's 7 and everyone down here is trying to get over to Soldier Field, which is what I was kind of afraid of. It is high ticket rides for a short distance because people are trying to get to the concert. The only downside though is that even though it's a short ride from where I'm at to the stadium itself, the time is like 30 minutes to the drop off for the stadium for this concert because there's so much traffic. For y'all that don't know, Soldier Field is it is the worst stadium, I think. It gotta be the worst football stadium in the NFL because there is no place to park. Parking is terrible. Parking is terrible. There's no good way to drop off anyone at Soldier Field. It's a very old stadium. Like when Chicago made this a part of the Parks and Recreation like district or whatever it's called of Chicago, like I don't understand how they did not fathom that if an NFL team is going to be playing here, we should probably construct like better ways to drop off or get to the stadium. I don't know, it's just my thought. But it is hell trying to get to that stadium right now, so I am not taking any rides over there. Plus, all the rides that come through for drop off to Soldier Field right now are coming through for $10. There is no way I'm taking $10 to wait 30 minutes in traffic just to drop someone off. It's not happening. Because of that tip in that ride, we're now at 142, I believe, for the day. I'm not sure how many hours we're at so far for driving, but I'll just circle back at the end when I do the recap of today to kind of see how we did and look at our hourly. I'm really interested in how we did today with hourly, because I really think the airport ride kind of messed me up. It's always interesting, like when you're done looking back and seeing that, you know, maybe that wasn't really as much of a deterrent as you thought it was. But yeah, I'm kind of interested. We'll see. But the area that I'm currently in is really busy. Like I said, I'm actually heading more south from the stadium to pick this person up, and I'm taking them to the far north side of the city. So that's nice. This ride came through, and I think it was just over $17 for this. It says it's gonna take me about like 30 minutes to drop them off. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Hopefully get some shorter rides to kind of bump up my hourly again, so I don't, you know, have to stay out so late, because I'm definitely not trying to stay out late enough to where this concert actually starts letting out. That is the worst. So we're doing pretty good so far. We're doing pretty good. That tip really helped. I'm still feeling good. I got my water. Always stay hydrated. Just because you're sitting down does not mean you don't need to be drinking water. I'm telling you, for all drivers or all people who are thinking about becoming drivers, please, please, please make sure you have water. Make sure you have water. There is just something about doing this where even if you're not talking, you just get thirsty. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like the AC or if you have the windows down, the heat. I don't know what it is, but it's something about doing this where, at least for me, I'm always feeling parched. Like, I'm drinking my water like crazy. If I run out, I try to stop and at least get some electrolytes or something like that, just so I can stay hydrated throughout the day, because it really helps. The thing is, once I start getting a little dehydrated, I start getting tired. So, like, obviously doing this, you don't want to get tired. So you don't want to, when you do this, you want to really try not to eat bad. It was something I was guilty of. I was going to McDonald's a lot, fast food, because it's just the easiest thing, and that's fine. But like, try not to get caught up in like sweets, like things that have sugar. Don't drink a lot of pop. Try to get away from like the Red Bulls and the Monster energy drinks and things like that, because you don't want to crash while you're working. It's gonna mess up your wallet. It's gonna mess up your money. Don't mess up your money by eating bad. You know, when you can, if you can not eat bad, that's obviously the plan. You know, bring a lunch with you. But if you do, just try to stay away from sugar. Try to stay away from sugar and energy drinks, because things like that, too much caffeine and things like that, like, it'll cause you to crash much sooner than you want to, and then you'll have to stop, and that's going to eat at your pocket. So that's just another little tip from me. But we're looking good. I'm gonna check in with y'all again a little later. Hopefully by the time I check in with y'all later, we are just in a much better place, and we're doing much better you know, on our daily tabs. So that's the goal. But today is a great day to drive. I'll check in with y'all shortly. Okay, so how do we do? We drove. So currently, I'm about to edit this video. Where did we finish at? So we finished at 9 hours. We did 17 trips, and we completed 104.84 miles. I think that's pretty good. I mean, for a 9-hour commitment, I think that's pretty good. I think, you know, where Uber is right now in Chicago, with it being a big city, wear and tear on the vehicle, I think that's pretty good. If we want to break this down into the nitty gritty of what was actually made, the IRS does a very conservative, they do a very conservative amount of 76 cents per mile on wear and tear of your vehicle. So if we look at that, My gross was 293. My miles was 104.84. Cost is 76 cents per mile. So we're looking at roughly $79.68 that it cost me to drive 9 hours with 104 miles. So my earnings was 293. We subtract that 79.68 and we're at 213.32 that we actually made in earnings that day. So we go from a $32.50 per hour rate to a $23.76 or a 70, I'm sorry, $23.70 hourly rate. So depending on how you look at it, I mean that's conservative though. If you're changing that and you're just looking about gas, I spent like $40 on gas. So I was probably around like 253 in earnings for that day instead of the 293 that I actually made. So I think it was a good day. That's kind of how it happens. Just to show y'all, this was. If it actually focuses, is it gonna focus? Just to kind of show y'all, that's where I was actually at, if you can see that. I think I personally think for doing just 9 hours, and again, that was split over 2 days, so you're not giving up a full day with 9 hours. I think that's the important thing to remember here is like, I didn't spend Friday after work driving 9 hours, and I didn't spend Saturday driving 9 hours either. What happened here is I split that up across 2 days. I think what I actually did is on Friday after work, I did 3 hours and 22 minutes. And then on Saturday, I did 5 hours and 37 minutes. So I had 9 trips on Saturday and I did 8 trips on Friday. Total in what I made in tips was $37.04, which is amazing. And then promotions, I ended up making $10.52, which totaled that $293 that I initially said. So the promotions are, it's a pro perk. It's a perk that you get in Uber based on your tier that you're at. I think I'm at gold tier in Uber. And so because I'm in that tier, I get an additional percentage per ride. And that definitely helps your income, especially when you're doing longer days. That really adds up. That little money really does add up. The tip part, the best advice I can give for tips is just to not be a chatty patty. I don't play music just because everyone has their different music preferences, and I don't want to play something that offends somebody or it's something that they don't like or think is dull, because that could also take your tip down. So I don't play music. And I keep an earbud in my ear so I can listen to music, and I just stay in my lane. I'm not listening into other people's conversations to chime in. I'm not trying to, I'm not driving all crazy. I'm not in a rush. The way I think about it is I signed up to do it for the day. So I'm not in a rush. I'm not driving fast. I'm not trying to run through lights or anything like that. I'm just taking it slow. And I find that people really do appreciate that. Now, if someone's in a rush and they ask me if I can go faster, I always say that I can go a little bit faster, but I'm not gonna break the law. That's just what I say. Like, I understand you're in a rush, but I'm not. And so for your safety and mine, I'm just gonna drive. I will drive a little faster. I will prioritize you getting there quicker, but I'm not gonna break the law. That's just something that I say. So yeah, that's the earnings. Do I think it's worth it? I do. I do think it's worth it. It's something that I was doing full time at one point, and it definitely helped me out a lot. So I'm definitely an advocate for it. I think Uber and Lyft give a lot of people who are in tough situations, especially if you have a vehicle, an opportunity to make something. And I think that that's really cool. So thank you for tuning in to another video, and I'll catch you guys next time.